Welcome back everyone to another edition of Figures from the Attic, and today I'm bringing you a figure from somebody else's attic. Yes, I'm not sure who this figure belonged to, but I picked it up loose from an independent toy store. Obviously someone had probably sold some pieces off their collection to this store, and this was included because he was just like in a bag. It's actually right over here. So he came in this nice little bag, just called Wrestling Figs for inventory purposes, $14.95. So I do have Goldust figures in my collection. You know, growing up, Goldust was always one of my favorites. I was always kind of captivated by him, as a lot of kids and adults back in that time were as well. That's why he became so iconic. But I only have Jakks Goldust action figures. I have a bone crunching action from Jakks back in like the mid 90s. And I have a couple of Ruthless Aggression style Goldust figures, also from Jakks. That's back like in the mid 2000s. But no Mattels. No Mattels is the very first Mattel Goldust that I've ever owned. And I saw this at the store and I wanted to get it because this is more of a late stage Goldust action figure. He wore this kind of more dark gold paint with black towards the later run in WWE. I think it was probably his last run in WWE before AEW started and he jumped over to that promotion as just Dustin Rhodes. But yeah, this is a late stage Goldust character. I do love the black, the heaviness of the black in the gear and the face paint. He's got black around his eyes, kind of in a triangle or diamond shape. Kind of gives it like an evil clown or evil jester type look, which I always thought was kind of spooky. And I believe he wore this when he was teaming with Stardust and Cody Rhodes as well. That was a very underrated tag team, especially when it was just Cody Rhodes and Goldust. Kind of like the yin and yang, but they were still brothers that loved each other. They won the tag team championships from the Shield. I'll always remember that fondly. That was an awesome time to be a fan of tag team wrestling. They eventually broke up though and kind of fizzled out from there, unfortunately. And then Goldust wasn't around for very much longer in WWE after that. But again, this is a moment in time figure. It reminds me of those days battling the Shield with his brother. And it's in pretty good condition. He does have some paint wear on the top of his head. You'll see some of the paint is kind of wearing off. There's a scuff back in his blonde hair back there. There are scuffs throughout the gear. But overall, I mean, it's not bad. For 15 bucks, a figure that's probably, what, 12 years old? It's 2026. I think this came out like in 2013. So I guess 13 years old. It's not bad. I mean, the joints are nice and tight. Definitely still playable, definitely still displayable. I can probably even touch up some of that paint that's brushed off with like a black Sharpie if I wanted to. But again, I love the look of this figure and I'm happy to add it to my collection. As an overall score, I would go probably, it is a little outdated now. It doesn't have the double jointed elbows. It does have pins in the elbows, which I don't like, kind of gives it also in the knees. Double jointed knees, but it does have pins. So obviously you can tell that this figure is older. It doesn't have the more modern articulation, but again, it does have very good aesthetics. It looks just like Goldust, just like Dustin Rhodes behind the face paint. And as a score, I would go like a 7.9 on this one. A 7.9 out of 10, a very solid figure. I'm glad I found it. And as always, I appreciate you all watching and stay tuned for more.